Hey everybody, 8-Bit Flashback here, and today I'll be demonstrating a modern project I've been working on for the Sega Channel adapter. The Sega Channel was way ahead of its time, and it provided a lot of great memories for me, so I decided to mod my adapter and try and relive the experience. Oh, and check this out, Sonic Mini actually existed first on the Sega Channel way back in 1995. So this is the Sega Channel adapter, and I modified it to play every Sega Genesis title, with no extra cords or cable service, just the adapter cartridge itself. So let's try this out and relive the Sega Channel experience. The Sega Channel was an online gaming service developed by Sega for the Sega Genesis that launched in December of 1994, which allowed customers to play Sega Genesis games by downloading them via a cable service provider and a Sega Channel adapter. Customers could also play game demos, access cheats, and even compete in contests to win awesome prizes like the Primal Rage arcade with a value at the time of $2,500. The service cost was approximately $13 a month, with a $25 activation fee, which included the adapter as well. Even though this doesn't seem like much, at the time it was considered expensive. When Sega initially launched the Sega Channel, the service was made available for over 20 million households, and they projected having over 1 million subscribers by the end of the first year. But the Sega Channel at its highest peak only reached 250,000 subscribers. The main reasons associated on why Sega didn't achieve their goals was the price of the service and the timing of the release, which was right at the decline of the Sega Genesis. The service still had a decent run, but it eventually ended on July 1st, 1998. I personally never had the Sega Channel, but my best friend right down the street had it, and I spent a lot of time experiencing what the Sega Channel was all about. It provided 50 plus games a month that were rotated monthly or sometimes bi-weekly. When powering on the Genesis, it took approximately 30 seconds to load the menu. Then after choosing the game you wanted to play, it took around 2 minutes to download to the adapter, which had an onboard memory of 4 megabytes, but this data would only remain on the adapter while powered on, and when powering off the system, everything would be erased. The service even had custom themes for the user interface. For instance, on Christmas, the backgrounds changed to a Christmas wallpaper with Christmas lights surrounding the edge of the screen, and various other themes were used for Easter, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, and more. Things like this might not seem like much, but back in the day, this is very innovative. To provide the best service for the Sega Channel, cable companies actually had to clean up their signal to provide faster download speeds, which ultimately paved the way for future online gaming. For me, back in 1994, I was still a huge Nintendo fan, but the Sega Channel started to change everything, and introduced me to games I would have never played without it. Because at the time, my family just couldn't afford it, and I was still playing NES at home. But luckily for me, my best friend had it. There were so many great games to pick from. You know how now with Netflix you go to pick a movie and you end up spending 10 minutes just trying to pick one? Well, that's how Sega Channel was for me. I would scroll through the entire list before picking the game I wanted to play. Kinda like I'm doing right now. The games were divided into different categories, and these would sometimes change depending on the next gaming lineup, with an occasional contest mixed in once in a while for a few games like Mortal Kombat and Primal Rage. And I remember the Primal Rage contest, but obviously I didn't win. I think I remember calling the hotline, but I could never get through. It was always busy. But it would be cool if I could find out who actually won that arcade, and if you're watching this, that would be even better. Okay, I finally found the game I want to play, Shinobi 3. And if my calculations are correct, when this baby hits 100% complete, you're going to see some serious shit. And this will take approximately just under 1 minute to complete, so it takes a long time, just like it did back in the day. So there's ways now to play these games instantly, but back then this was considered fast. If you take in perspective how much a game was back then, which was around $50 each, and then multiply that by 50, that's $2,500 worth of games that were available every month. So for many gamers out there, this was a great deal. In today's world, it's fairly easy to acquire full game collections to play on emulators, but back in 1994, things were completely different, and most people didn't even know what an emulator was. Okay, it's finally almost done loading, and after this loads all the way, it should boot to a sub-menu. Then from here we can start the game. So the Sega Channel now activated, 942 games unlocked, for assistance call, Shinobi 3 ready. So select that, and start the game. So I'm a big fan of all the Shinobi games, or pretty much any ninja game out there. I think the first time I played Shinobi was on Game Gear, and I think that was back in 1991. And that was actually at another one of my friend's house, because the only thing I had back then for a portable was Game Boy. Here's some more interesting information on how the Sega Channel originally worked. It all started with a production team at Sega, who arranged the monthly content and loaded it onto a CD-ROM, then delivered it to a satellite station located in Denver, Colorado. From there, it was distributed via the Galaxy 7 satellite to local providers. But in other countries besides the US, the satellites were bypassed, and the CD-ROMs were delivered straight to the cable companies. As far as how this mod works, I'll discuss that more in a future video, but I'm sure some of you out there have already figured this out. Well, it's time for me to go, but if you want to stick around, you can, because I will be showing more Sega Channel in action. And if you like this video, if you could, hit that like button, and have yourself a great day, and I'll see you next time.